war starts, we were really confused, then scared, and then the fear just went. Yeah. I can't say we got used to bombs.
It was supposed to be Lebanon's best tourist season since before the Civil War.
That year we actually were hoping to expect major international concerts, Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, we'd already seen 50 Cent.
And at 3 in the morning we were awakened by these jet fighters, F-16s, roaring over our apartment, really loud. And we looked out our bedroom window to the south and we could see these terrific flashes and these huge explosions. I went back to sleep, and when we woke up in the morning, we found out that they had destroyed the airport.
I believe one of the military commanders said that this would be very painful for Lebanon. I remember those words very well. And then days later, they said Lebanon would be put back 20 years.
Over 1,100 Lebanese were killed. Over 160 Israelis were killed. This is Lebanon's story.
My interpreter went up to the western border of Syria and interviewed people that were just streaming out, and all of them were talking about civilian houses being bombed. People were talking about hospitals being bombed and ambulances being bombed, paper factories, milk plants, all of these things were being targeted.
We had a total sea blockade. Nothing could get in and out of the ports. All the roads were bombed pretty quickly, including the road, the main Damascus-Beirut highway was destroyed. There's several big bridges, and they were all the bridges were hit. All of the roads to the south, all of the primary roads, most of the secondary roads, and so the country was cut off from the outside totally, almost immediately.
We never knew what to expect. We never knew when the bombs were coming to us, or
the uncertainty of it all. You know, whether or not you were being bombed directly at that moment, you just weren't sure if you were going to be bombed in the next moment. Because the roads were all being destroyed, every kind of supply was in short supply. So, you would see occasionally a water truck pass by the house, and people would just be like stopping the guy left and right, and you thought this is your chance to survive, to get some more water.
Well, it's widely known now and admitted also by the Israeli military that they use both cluster bombs and white phosphorus. A very, very disconcerting thing that the Israelis were doing, and it became a pattern as the war progressed, is they would leaflet a village and tell everyone, leave, we're about to attack your village to try to get Hezbollah out of there. And so people would follow orders. They would see this leaflet, very threatening. They would pile the family in a car, fly a white flag out the window or a pillowcase, and start taking off. And then those cars were being rocketed and targeted by the Israeli military.
And every day, every single day, we would hear of convoys of people trying to leave and getting hit.
The air was yellow, and there was a very awful smell and broken cars, demolished buildings.
There's some giant oil storage tanks in a small coastal village, and that was targeted early on in the war, and it released tens of thousands of tons of oil into the Mediterranean.
A massive, horrible, epic oil spill that covered 3/4 of the country's coastline with black guck. The situation in the American reporting is it's always balanced, so-called balance between the two sides.
I mean, I'm extremely critical of mainstream media coverage of Iraq, but with the Lebanon-Israeli situation, it was off the charts. It was far worse than anything I saw in Iraq.
The vast majority of people killed by Hezbollah were Israeli military, whereas the vast majority of people the Israelis killed were Lebanese civilians. That point wasn't seen in the media. The media just said that Hezbollah was indiscriminately attacking Israelis. If they were so indiscriminate, why did they end up killing more military than civilians?
The media coverage was as if Hezbollah was committing all these war crimes and firing rockets in the civilian areas, which they did. They did commit war crimes. They did fire rockets into civilian areas. But if you simply look at the statistics, the Israelis killed far, far more civilians than they killed fighter. They were far, far more indiscriminate.
But even in war, some found hope.
I learned much, I guess, about people, about life. Even in war, we do have this life. We can love, we can share, we can be happy, we can think of food, we can think of family, we can think of dancing. Now I know the value of every moment, and I don't want to lose any moment.